Right, how you going, guys? So, Saturday morning, and I managed to get a new bottle for my gas, for my welder. So I've got some gas now, so I'm going to get in there and hopefully over the next 3 days, because I've got today, tomorrow, and today's Saturday, so yeah, it's got today and Sunday and some of Monday off, because I've taken Monday off work because I've got to go back in with my partner to the hospital, and she's got to get some results. We're going to see the specialist anyway for the problem she had a wee while ago. So hopefully we'll find out what's going on there and everything's all good. But so I'm going to use the opportunity. Hopefully, I want to get the last of the welding done around the back end, except for I've still got to make some patches in this boot floor on this side. So I know where there's a section of floor. I'm not sure if I can get the whole thing, but that's possibly I'm going to take the whole section of another floor out of that same car I took the back piece out of, and they've got the front subframe from. The guy's still got it there, and that part of the boot floor's alright. So I'm probably going to pinch that and graft that in, instead of pissing around with all the little holes and making small patches up. If I can get the whole boot floor, I might take the whole thing and just join it across here somewhere if I can, instead of separating the back panel. But we'll see how that goes at a later date. But I'm going to get this done, try and get this welded up. There's some patches to make in the fronts of the fronts of the wheel arches on the back of the rocker, sill, whatever you want to call it. Same both sides. Yeah, so I think there's a patch to make on the outer edge, plus I think on the other one in here there's a patch to be made, and I think there's some other little bits and pieces that need to be welded up. So I'm going to try and get that busted out over the next couple of days, and I'll get some more done if I can, because I'd like to. I'm really itching to get into the bodywork in this. I'm pretty close. Like, that's not going to take a lot to clean up and weld up. That's, I don't know, an hour or so's work, taking time, and just make sure I don't get any crazy warpage or anything, and then piss around and make some of these other little patches up and tidy them up. Got some, and then possibly get into doing some repair on some of these doors, whatever ones they need it. And then I might, if I get time, depending on what day it is, I might bolt that front guard on and tack some nails on that and see if I can pull some more of that dint out of the front. But I want to get some welding done since I got my gas bottle here now, and I'm sort of in the mood. It's pretty cool here. It's not very warm. It's only it'll be 1 or 2 degrees C, so basically just above zero. It's alright when the sun comes out and you get a bit of heat, but it's still a very cool breeze here, so it's not very terribly warm out here. So I got a few layers on, so hopefully I'll get this done and don't get too bloody cold, because I've got no heat in here, and I haven't really got the room to put a heater in here, and be nice, but just to take the chill off the air, so make it a wee bit more nicer and don't get numb fingers and all sorts of stupid things when you're playing with steel. So yeah, we'll get into that. And then I was meant to do my tax last night, but they're having computer problems, something to do with the tax network or some bloody thing, so they had to postpone that. So I was hoping to have cash from that on Monday and go and get a few bits and pieces and sort a few bits and pieces out while I had some time, but I'm not going to be able to do that now, so that's going to have to wait till later on in the week, because I was going to go grab a DA sander and a few bits and pieces and look into some other stuff and trying to order some bits and all those sorts of things, but that'll just have to wait for a week or so, and try and get my passports organised. It's not big deal of money involved in that, but it's just having the free cash, you know, and about doing it easy without having to sacrifice other things where I'm trying to live and all sorts of other bloody things, because my financial situation is just not really lenient at the moment. I'm still waiting on that bloody pay rise. Hopefully the boss is here next week, so that'll be good. Anyway, I'll stop crapping on. I'll get into this welding, and as you can see, it's only sort of been tacked on there. Like it's welded across the bottom. We'll spot welded across the bottom, and I think I've done on the inner. Well, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'll get in there and look at that. Not off, I don't know, tack welded it on there. I don't know, every sort of inch and a half or a bit more. So I'll go along there and weld that up, and then we'll do some more, and I'll show you some progress shots and all the rest of it. So we'll carry on, and we'll see you later. Cheers. Right, so I've done a bit. I haven't finished yet, but I've done a fair bit along here. Still got a few gaps to close up, obviously, but that's coming up pretty good. Hasn't really twisted or warped or anything, so that's good. We'll basically just keep going backwards and forwards down here, do a full length, and then come back and just let it cool off for a second, and then go back again. Just let not too much heat get into it. So I'll come along here and I'll finish this off, and then I'll clean it up with the grinder and carry on and do some more. Right, a wee bit of progress. So I'm at the back of this, what do you want to call it, rocker. We call them sills over here in this part of the world. New Zealand and Australia both call them sills. I don't know whether that's what they call them in the UK or whatever, but I know in the States they call them rockers and all that sort of stuff. So there's a bit of rust starting to break through in that back corner. So I got on there, cut that piece off. Yeah, I probably could have cut further along, but it was pretty sound behind there, so I've just given it a good clean up and put some rust converter on there for a start off, and then I've just given it a quick shot of weld through primer. So I'll let that dry off. I've cut my patch, and I've weld proof primed the back of that too, and then I'll go around, I'll give these edges a clean up so I've got a bit better edge to clean, better clean edge to weld up to, and then I'll start tagging it on, and I'll just bend it round here, the bottom, just the lead tab, the piece that rolls around the bottom. I'll bend that over when I get down there, probably. Yeah, probably will. I'll just shape it down there, and then I'll just weld it on there, and then just bend it round later on to sort of get a bit more welded on. And I got up there with the air, and I blew a heap of crap out of the air, like all the garnet and rust and shit that was still sitting there from when I did this patch and all that sort of stuff, and blew all the crap out of there as best I could. And then I also sprayed rust kill converter back up in the air the best I could, and in this gap I sort of opened it up a little bit. I'll knock that down a little bit later on, and I sprayed some primer back up in there as well. So I've got that sort of sorted. I haven't completely ground that off yet, because I was struggling with my flappy wheel disc, but I actually found I found before another one that I haven't used a heap. So I'll go back along there and clean that up later on when I do some more, when I grind this up. So yeah, I think that's sort of the last of the patchy sort of areas on this side. I think there may be some bits in here that I got to tidy up. I can't remember. Well, I've got a couple of seams to weld up. I think I've got one of these joins where I put this patch, and I think I've got to weld a seam in here somewhere. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. If you can see that one. A few little bits and pieces like that, and then I'll jump to the other side, and I'll start fixing the little bits up on that side. But anyway, we'll leave it at that for now, and we'll catch you later. Cheers. Alrighty guys, another quick wee update. So, I've got this side basically all but ground off, and okay, down here a little bit. If I can show you quickly, I've got the patch in that corner. It all ground up and cleaned up, and I fixed a couple little bits in the wheel arch that I just hadn't finished off, like the seam, and there was a couple of welds in there to do. The only other thing I really need to do on the side, but I need to find me, not sure where my other pair of multi-grips are, or the vice grips, so I need to put a couple more welds on the bottom edge with the inner and the outer join, skin join up, just to put a bit more strength in there, because it's not 100% welded all on there. It's only been spotted in a few places, so I need to go back along there and do that. But we go around the other side now and hook into this side and do what I need to do over here. Again, gonna have to do a patch in this corner. Somebody's already patched it before, but I'm not sure whether it's done over top or in there or what, so we'll have a decent look. What else have we got to do? Well, there's a few other bits and pieces to do. I've got some finishing off the work to do on, and like here, I'll fill some of these holes up where I've drilled and welded and grown, and was joining panels together and stuff. Finished cleaning all that up. I've got to do a repair in here. And when I cut that outer skin off, I'll put a piece in here too, just in that corner. It's a bit rotten, and sort of tidy that up. Apart from that, I think that's about it in here. So yeah, that's the main bits. I'll probably just see if I can do something with that, but I might cut a wee patch out and put a patch in there too, just tidy that up. Make sure it's not too rotten in there. So yeah, that's the start of this side, and then doors. Help finish off straightening these doors out and stuff like that, and put a couple of patches in that corner of that front door. This back door's pretty solid for rust. Just needs some more dent work, more body work done to it. Straighten it out a bit better. So yeah. So we'll do a bit more of that, and we'll get this wheel arch and that tidied up, finished off, and then and then we'll move forward. Well, and get that bang of patch in there. So obviously had some shit lying in here at some stage, been trapped in there at some point. So yeah, we'll clean that up. I'll cut this off first, see what that's like, and do a patch from the inside and tidy all that up. Alrighty, we'll do a bit more and we'll give it a progress. It's still Saturday too, so we'll carry on. Cheers. Alrighty, so a bit more of an update. So I've trimmed that corner out, and yep, they just put the patch in the corner straight over top. So yeah, that hasn't helped anything. And torch in here. So rust hole that was in that's what's in behind here. So I'm going to get in there and give that a quick blast with the media blaster, and then blow all the shit back out of there again, and then I'll spray a whole heap of rust converter in there, and then I'll make some patches up for these and weld them in. I don't know if I'll get them in tonight now, but I'll give that a quick blast with a sandblaster, and not quite sure what I'll do here. I'll probably just make a little patch from this corner and weld it down in here and shape it, and then I'll make the outer skin. So basically, where this comes in and joins in here and joins to the sill, like there's a step in it obviously, and that's all sort of full of lead there. So basically I've trimmed it off at roughly where the join is, That's pretty much what sort of happened on the other side. I didn't realise it was lead until later on when I went to try and weld. And I thought, oh shit, it's full of lead. So I've trimmed that back to where that joint is, as you can see. So it obviously comes up here, and then that's where all that panel joins in. And obviously it comes up and over and round and through here. So I'll clean all that up and get some rust converter in there and make a wee patch and put it in here, and make a patcher in here later on and get a bit of guts back in that, and then I'll come back up here and work out what I'm going to do with this, whether I trim this out in here, or whatever I do. I'll work that out, possibly just half-by debating whether I should get in here and try and open this one up, and I can get in here and probably even just blast down behind that and then weld that up, and then put a whole heap of shit down in there, rust converter, stop that rusting, and then I can just put a shape a wee patch and just put it in here, because that'll be it'll be a lot easier to weld than trying to cut all that out and trying to remake that at this point. I don't think there's any point in reshaping, making all that, but if I just cut that through here, put a little patch in there, but that'll give me some access so I can clean up, make it strong. Alrighty, sort of back again. Right, before I got in, rudely interrupted by the compressor there before. So I have come back in here and I've trimmed this out. I may trim it a little bit deeper, but I've got in there with my media blaster, and media blasted all this before. Got in there and shoved it in out there, and now, you know, anywhere I could to try and clean up the worst of the stuff, and obviously in around here and down in there as best I could, and then I got in there with this aerosol rust converter, sort of acts a bit like a primer too. I think I've said that several times before, and I've drowned it in here as much as I could and sprayed it up that direction and up that direction and every bloody direction I can get it to run in and run down, and so that should be reasonably good now. I may just trim this out a little bit bigger when I put a patch in that, but I'm not too stressed about that at the moment. And then in the morning, because I'll let this cure all off now, and then I'll get in there and I'll blow a coat of primer in there just to give it an extra layer. My weld through, I'll give it a bloody good, give that another drown with some primer, and then while I'm making some patches, that'll cure, and then I can come along and I'll coat the inside of the patches with some weld through primer as well, and then at least then I can weld all that up. And it's not really some access, but there's a little bit of access from some holes in there, like body openings, like in the door. There's some access, and behind I might better spray some shit in here, and if I really crawl up underneath the guard, I might better spray some underbody sealer in here eventually. Maybe, I don't know, but at least that's got some protection now. So yeah, we'll make some patches up and weld it all in tomorrow, and then that should be this corner reasonably cleaned up. Just got to finish these other little holes and bits and pieces that I haven't finished welding on there. And I come back in here where I did all this and refixed all that and made all those bits. So yeah, so we'll sort all that out tomorrow, and then figure out where I'm going to shift to next once I've got all this bit done around this wheel arch and back corner bit. So we'll get that all sorted tomorrow, and then I guess we'll move on to the doors, and hopefully in the next week or so or whatever, I've got a guy looking for some, he's got some engine mount brackets, but he's just got to locate both of them, and he's got a dry shaft for me, so hopefully in amongst my tax money and my partner's tax money and stuff, I can get those over here, and I can get that blooming engine and trans bolted in place and work out any final details I need to do that floor, because that's my big headache, and then I want to finish fixing that, and then I can tidy all that up, and then hopefully then the body is buggered, and apart from the boot floor I can actually get in and start doing some actual body work. Like I can do the boot floor sort of any time within reason, if you know what I mean. So I can do some body work on that, and I can still come in here and do some work on that hopefully in the next week or so too as well. I've just got to go get this boot floor. So yeah, so we're getting there, and then I can get all these doors pulled off and finish stripping all the paint off, and see if I can get these door rubbers off without destroying them. I'll try and reuse them if I can. I'd like to be able to at least reuse them in the meantime. Like, I'll eventually replace them if I hang on to the car and I put it in storage and send it back to New Zealand, or whatever happens in the next sort of 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, whatever. Because it's the same as a Plymouth Fury, so when I'm in the States, I might be able to buy a bit of that sort of stuff and then send it back to New Zealand, and then I can put it back on at some point before we come home eventually. Either that, or we'll just use it as capital somewhere along the line, and depending on what happens with the going to the States, it may become extra cash towards something. But me and the guy that I've been talking to, which I hope to go work for, they're quite keen to come over to New Zealand and Australia at some point, so I'm hoping if we can get this home back to New Zealand while I'm in the States, then if we do happen to come over to New Zealand or Australia or whatever, we might come with them and do a bit of a trip round, and we can drag this out of storage and get it running and go for a drive in it, which would be quite cool. Instead of cruising around in something modern, we can jump in this old girl and do a few miles in it. So yeah, that'll do for tonight. Got what I wanted to do done today. I got that side cleaned up, and I'm on this side, and at least I've got that curing overnight, and we can carry on in the morning. I don't have to sit and wait on that stuff to dry. Like the primer will dry pretty quick, but that stuff takes a while. Alrighty guys, we'll catch you later on. Cheers.